becoming lucrative. Take a look.
The fashion and design industry changes rapidly and fast, but fashion designer Alugah Nato, the founder of Alugah Nato and Nato Woman, a ready-to-wear line for women, found a way to create designs that transcend time and age. Alugah tells me that after she lost her mother, who she describes as a fashion-conscious person, she started adjusting the clothes that were left behind to fit her, and that is when she realized she has a passion for fashion.
And so I loved myself from that aspect. And then I grew up and I knew I wanted to do something related to fashion or tailoring. But of course my dad would not let me. And even my other siblings, because I come Ukuchini, 4 more, I'm the 5th born. So yes, I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do in school. So this would take time much later. So after doing what I did fashion, I did PR and communication. Then I left the country. So now when I was abroad, I suffered. Because hapa we would go to Ngara, we would go to Toi for second hand, and you'd feel you were dressed so well. But then being out there, I didn't know there were countries that had no second hand at all. I mean, growing up in your country, you'd just think everywhere else they have what you need. So being out there, I did not get clothes that were pocket friendly, and also I was used to particular style, and getting out there I could not get them. And then something again got into me that I wanted to be more authentic. I probably wanted to be more Kenyan. Yeah, so that drive of fashion or designing what I wanted to wear got back.
After she finished her studies abroad, she came back home and enrolled in a design school where she pursued her passion and learned skills that would enable her to do a bit of design work at home.
So out of just my little saving, I bought one machine. I first bought that machine, the portable one. So I started just by using my bed sheet to try. This I would do while I was still working. And then much later, I now graduated, bought a machine, a bigger machine, and then I looked for one tailor who could help me interpret the stuff that I was sketching and all my designs. So I was with this tailor, I think for about a year. Yes, but just before getting a good one, there was a bad one who took off with everything. When I lost my first cousin, so I had to travel home, and I trusted him with everything. When I came back, he took off with everything. I found nothing, so I started afresh. So then I met this other one that it was a journey. It has been a journey.
She tells me what the most interesting part of her job is and why she chose the tagline, Shape of You.
My job is pretty interesting because I deal with a lot of women. That makes me feel I put a lot of confidence in them. When a woman walks in and they tell you their story, someone walks into you and tells you that, oh yeah, I'm having a wedding, I'm having this function, and this is how I want to look. And at that point, they do not know how they will feel. Some do not even have confidence. There are those years when I started, someone would come and they'll look at me like, but will you? Because they were expecting maybe to meet an older woman. There are people sometimes I get to talk to on call, and then they come and say, but you're just a small girl. Like, really, it's not my size that works, it's the work. So to me, it's making someone happy.
Alugah defines her personal style as Victorian, classical, and conservative, describing herself as more of a classical woman. She tells me that she always goes back in time to see what she can borrow.
So while I was starting, mostly I was driven by, because I didn't grow up with my mom. So I wanted to see my creation, my mom living through my creation. I went back to the days she lived as a young woman. I checked on Google how are people in the 70s, in the 60s and 80s dressing. So that was my motivation before. And even now, lots of my designs are influenced now, classical designs and stuff like that. So one is my mom, two, women's body. So I'm most fascinated with that as well, and also buildings. Yeah, so that makes me, those are stuff that I get to draw my inspirations.
Despite her success in the industry, Alugah says some of the biggest challenges she faces has been training tailors, then they leave immediately after gaining the skills, and getting unique fabric, as there are very limited options locally, which eventually makes all designers look like they have the same product.
One, I didn't get mentors, so I would say, since I did not exactly study this, so I lacked that. That made me to do a lot of research in my work. And so that has been my push and also my challenge, because I have to keep up researching and getting to know new stuff, as opposed to just relying on what I learned. And the industry is not easy, just like any other business. I mean, you have to keep pushing. You have to just know that talent is not enough, that you have to wake up every day with a drive. You have to put your targets and your goals to. Otherwise, the industry is flooded with people who are not honest, people who are not trustworthy, and so they will do anything to get things their way. So I think there are different stuff that helps me to push every day.
Indeed, she has reiterated, morals and ethics shall be central in doing business. Well, at that particular moment, we want to take a short break right here on Business Today. We'll return with more. Stay tuned.